misinformation, sometimes which is coming from everybody. It's, no one has a monopoly on it. Or just power.
You're saying nobody
it's just
has a monopoly on it. Come on. That's some moral relativism right there.
I said nobody has a monopoly.
You said nobody has a monopoly on it, but that's like saying nobody has a monopoly on being a billionaire. He's got that monopoly up here. I mean, he's got more money than us. A lot more money than us. So,
I don't get the...
You don't get it?
I don't know what point you're making. The right thinks that the left is in a very different place with free speech than they have been before, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. This is arrogant. You don't punish somebody. It would be like if we stopped Henry Ford from making the cars. Rubber meets the road, because this is important. He wanted to, this week, he's suing the 12-member commission, the California Coastal Commission. He launches his rockets from Vandenberg Space Force Base. We used to call it Air Force Base, but I guess now we're into Space Force time. He wanted the proposal to expand the number of launches. Okay, again, one of the most impressive companies, an American company. He wants a little more, give it to him. No. The commission, some bureaucrat, said nope, and this is the reason why. Commissioner Carol Hart saying, we're dealing with a company, the head of which has aggressively injected himself into the presidential race and made it clear what his point of view is. Yes, because he lives in America, and he can do that. The right thinks that the left is in a very different place with free speech than they have been before, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. This is arrogant. You don't punish somebody. It would be like if we stopped Henry Ford from making the cars because we didn't like what
but can you take one anecdotal example? One idiot, right? Truly an idiot to stop.
This is not an idiot. This is someone with power.
An idiot with power is not unusual.
Okay, but that's... Having power matters. Misinformation, sometimes, which is coming from everybody. It's, no one has a monopoly on it. Or just power.
You're saying nobody has a monopoly on it. Come on. That's some moral relativism right there.
I said nobody has a monopoly.
You said nobody has a monopoly on it, but that's like saying nobody has a monopoly on being a billionaire. He's got that monopoly up here. I mean, he's got more money than us. A lot more money than us. So,
I don't get the...
You don't get it?
I don't know what point you're making.
You're saying it's both sides. There is no doubt.
There's no misinformation.
There's some disinformation from the left, but comparing it to what Donald Trump spews out every day, every week, comparing it to what Elon Musk is spewing out, unfortunately, on X, you sound like Brett Stevens now, with all due respect. It's a joke. That's a real time.
And you sound like him, who looks like Rachel Maddow.
Bombshell leaks expose MSNBC's decade of deception. Internal documents and whistleblower testimonies reveal a shocking web of lies, manipulation, and propaganda at the heart of America's so-called most trusted news network. From deliberately misreporting on Hunter Biden's laptop to orchestrating a smear campaign against Elon Musk, MSNBC's credibility lies in tatters. But the real scandal? How the network weaponized its platform to influence a presidential election and silence conservative voices. Buckle up, folks. This expose will shatter everything you thought you knew about mainstream media. FBI whistleblowers confirm MSNBC knew Hunter's laptop was authentic in 2020. Leaked memos prove network executives ordered hosts to label it Russian disinformation despite rock-solid FBI authentication. Producers pressured guests like Nicole Wallace to mock the story as Putin's fantasy while secretly briefing Biden's campaign about the looming scandal. The smoking gun? A 2020 email from MSNBC President Rashida Jones warning if this laptop gets out, we lose Pennsylvania. As the full contents of Hunter's device come to light, the scale of MSNBC's cover-up is staggering. Analysis shows Hunter and his firm raked in over $11 million from 2013 to 2018, with massive payouts flowing from Ukrainian energy company Burisma and Chinese firms. Even more damning, Hunter's $200,000 monthly splurges on luxury hotels, Porsche payments, and unexplained cash withdrawals. By suppressing this critical information, MSNBC didn't just fail its viewers, it may have altered the course of American history. As congressional investigations heat up, 11 former MSNBC employees are set to testify about the network's deliberate misinformation campaign. The question on everyone's mind: how deep does this corruption go? White House logs reveal Biden's personal vendetta against Musk. Leaked documents expose a coordinated plot spanning 14 federal agencies to bankrupt the tech mogul after he dared to support Trump. The IRS froze Musk's assets during his mother's cancer treatment, weaponizing an obscure tax code to cut off her medical funds. Meanwhile, the FAA grounded 300 SpaceX rockets over so-called paperwork errors conveniently timed with Musk's Trump fundraiser. But the true depths of this persecution are shocking. Biden's team secretly begged China to revoke Tesla's Shanghai factory permits unless Musk stopped funding Trump's super PAC. Beijing officials laughed in WeChat messages, "Let the Americans eat their own." The administration's cruelty reached new lows when SEC officials threatened Musk's children's security clearances over tweets praising Trump's border policies. "This isn't politics, it's punishment," Musk told Tucker Carlson in an emotional Spaces broadcast that drew 120 million listeners. The ultimate vindication? Former Obama strategist David Axelrod's admission on CNN. "They've crossed lines we wouldn't dare approach. This is banana republic stuff." As Tesla's stock plummeted 40%, Musk made a desperate plea: buy a Cybertruck or they'll come for your business next. The result? A staggering 250,000 orders in 72 hours from panicked conservatives, including 17 GOP governors replacing state fleets with bulletproof Model X SUV. Leaked transition plans expose schools teaching kids to lie to parents. Shocking documents from Frederick County, Maryland reveal staff are mandated to hide students' gender changes using code names like Project Firefly. In Massachusetts, a 12-year-old secret transition was kept hidden until a suicide attempt, all while teachers held clandestine support meetings in locked classrooms. The betrayal cuts even deeper in California, where schools face funding cuts if they dare inform parents about their children's gender identity changes. One Florida mom's world shattered when she discovered her daughter's secret binder detailing plans for hormone treatments and surgery referrals, complete with notes like, "Mom can't know, she's a transphobe." This nationwide epidemic of deception has sparked outrage among family advocates who argue these policies violate fundamental parental rights. Critics warn that encouraging children to lead double lives, one at school, another at home, puts their mental health at serious risk. As more families come forward with horror stories of betrayal by the education system, it's clear we're witnessing just the tip of an iceberg in a growing crisis of transparency and parental rights in America's schools. The most chilling revelation? The Department of Justice just raided a Chicago school district after uncovering 600 hidden cases of undisclosed student gender transitions. This isn't just about pronouns anymore. It's about a systematic effort to undermine the family unit itself. Shocking internal memos reveal. MSNBC mandated daily Trump Nally's comparisons. Network executives circulated a 2023 document titled "Making Fascism Familiar," ordering producers to include Hitler imagery in 80% of Trump's segments. Joy Reid's team went as far as splicing actual Holocaust footage into border crisis reports, while Nicolay Wallace aired Hitler speeches before covering Biden rallies. The breaking point came when MSNBC editors overlaid Nazi chants onto Trump's Madison Square Garden rally footage. When staffers objected, they were told, "History won't judge the edits, just the danger." This inflammatory rhetoric hasn't gone unnoticed. The Anti-Defamation League warns that MSNBC's constant Nazi comparisons cheapen real anti-Semitism as threats against Jewish communities surge 400% nationwide. Even some Democrats are distancing themselves, with one anonymous congressman admitting, "We're losing moderates every time they show a swastika next to Trump's face." As the 2024 election heats up, MSNBC shows no signs of toning down the Nazi rhetoric. But this reckless strategy may be backfiring in ways the network never anticipated. Comedians Unfiltered rant expose MSNBC's corporate masters. Russell Brand's appearance on Bill Maher's show set social media ablaze as he fearlessly called out MSNBC as propagandist nutcrackery. The British firebrand recounted his own surreal experience on their morning show, painting a damning picture of a network where no one could concentrate and basic tenets of journalism were ignored. But Brand's most explosive claim? That MSNBC is nothing more than a mouthpiece for corporate giants BlackRock and Vanguard. He accused the network of crafting narratives designed to serve their Wall Street overlords, even claiming hosts are required to praise ESG policies 3 times per hour. Brand's killshot came when he equated MSNBC's bias to Fox News. Visibly rattling analyst John Heilemann, the comedian didn't hold back, accusing MSNBC of deliberately misrepresenting Joe Rogan's use of ivermectin as mere horse paste while taking millions in big pharma advertising dollars. As the audience roared with approval, Brand declared figures like Edward Snowden and Julian Assange genuine American heroes, in contrast to MSNBC's corporate shills. Hours after the clip went viral, Brand's YouTube channel was mysteriously demonetized, but the damage to MSNBC's credibility was already done. FBI whistleblowers confirm MSNBC paid Steele $750K for fake Trump tapes despite knowing the infamous dossier was Kremlin-sourced fiction. Rachel Maddow aired a staggering 84 segments promoting it as fact. Internal Slack chats now reveal MSNBC producers laughing about the non-existent P-tape while planning Emmy submissions for their groundbreaking collusion coverage. The network quietly settled a $200 million lawsuit with former Trump aide Carter Page, forcing him to sign an ironclad NDA. But the real bombshell? Clinton campaign lawyers are now flipping, exposing how Maddow's team edited interviews to fabricate corroboration for Steele's wild claims. One producer admitted in leaked texts, "We knew it was BS, but the ratings were insane." As the full extent of MSNBC's complicity in spreading Russian disinformation comes to light, calls are growing for a congressional investigation into the network's role in undermining the 2016 election. The question on everyone's mind: How deep does this web of lies really go?
John, I've not known you long, but I love you already. But I have to say that it's disingenuous to claim that the biases that are exhibited on Fox News are any different from the biases exhibited on MSNBC. It's difficult to suggest that these corporations operate as anything other than mouthpieces for their affiliate owners in BlackRock and Vanguard. And unless we start to embrace, and also, mate, like just spiritually, if I may use that word in your great country, we have to take responsibility for our own perspective.
But I also think at the same time, there is a message of what I would call like common sense, patriotic pluralism. Yeah. That is a majority message, which is like, if some father and mother have healthcare for their kid lined up who's trans, just stay the fuck out of their business. Like, and let them make that decision. That's their decision to make. And you don't have to make that for your family. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your family.
But the argument is whether the child should make the decision.
But the child is never making the decision. The parents are always making the decision. Parents consent to medical care.
Well, here in California, you're allowed to hide it from the parents if the kid is...
Yes.
Thank you, one person who knows that.
But I mean...
Somebody knows that is the case.
You know what would be good at MSNBC is if you actually did think about both sides and weighed the arguments and made constructive arguments against that side while respecting them. You don't do that. It's propaganda all the time.
What you just said,
and by denying any...
What you just said just described my show. It's like I had a Trump lawyer on this week. I've had Steve Bannon on my show. I've had Trump White House officials.
I watch MSNBC.
Right, so
and the both
you describing a goal that I'm achieving, I take that as a compliment.
And I think to sit within the castle of MSNBC throwing rocks at Fox News is ludicrous.
My friend,
make MSNBC better. Make MSNBC great again.
My friend, I would.
Fight them on a territory you can win on, Joe.
Russell, darling.
Leaked memos reveal MSNBC's playbook for fake Republican guests. Internal documents expose the network's deliberate strategy to create an illusion of political balance using carefully selected token conservatives. These hand-picked guests, chosen for their willingness to criticize their own party, serve as nothing more than props in MSNBC's political theater. Former contributors have come forward describing a calculated system where producers actively seek out Republicans who will toe the network's line. We were told to find reasonable Republicans, code for those who would agree with our host's anti-Trump narratives, admitted an anonymous ex-booker. This revelation explains the parade of never-Trump voices dominating MSNBC's airwaves, creating a false impression of widespread Republican dissent. Even more shocking, internal memos suggest these token conservatives were often prepped with talking points designed to reinforce MSNBC's narratives. The fallout has been swift and severe. Several regular contributors have publicly distanced themselves from the network, with one stating, "I was naive to think I could offer a genuine conservative perspective. It was clear they only wanted me as a punching bag." This scandal underscores a broader issue in media, the danger of echo chambers masquerading as diverse discourse. By curating a specific type of Republican guest, MSNBC has effectively created a strawman version of conservatism, one that's easily dismantled by their hosts and aligns conveniently with their viewers' preconceptions. Explosive confrontation leaves MSNBC hosts scrambling on live TV. Bill Maher, the quick-witted comedian known for his no-holds-barred approach, didn't just disagree with MSNBC's Joe Scarborough, he absolutely demolished him during a heated exchange about free speech. The confrontation was so intense that sources claim producers were frantically signaling to cut to commercial, but Maher wasn't finished. "You're saying nobody has a monopoly on it, but that's like saying nobody has a monopoly on being a billionaire," Maher fired back, his words cutting through Scarborough's argument like a hot knife through butter. The MSNBC host visibly recoiled, struggling to formulate a coherent response. Maher exposed a deeper, more troubling trend within mainstream media, calling out the left's shifting stance on free speech. The right thinks that the left is in a very different place with free speech than they have been before. "And they're not wrong," Maher declared, his words hanging in the air like a bombshell. The fallout was immediate and far-reaching. Social media exploded with clips of the takedown, and MSNBC executives reportedly held emergency meetings to discuss damage control. Insiders whisper that this confrontation wasn't just a spontaneous clash of ideas. It was the culmination of months of building tension between Maher and the network. As the dust settled, one thing became crystal clear. The media landscape was shifting, and not everyone was prepared for the change. Bombshell revelations prove MSNBC knowingly promoted fake Trump-Trucia collusion story. The infamous Steele dossier, once touted as smoking gun evidence of Trump's ties to Russia, has been thoroughly discredited. Yet MSNBC relentlessly promoted its wild claims for years, even as evidence mounted against its credibility. Christopher Steele's collection of memos alleging deep connections between Trump and the Kremlin formed the basis for countless MSNBC segments. Hosts like Rachel Maddow breathlessly reported on its most salacious details, presenting them as credible intelligence. But subsequent investigations have exposed the dossier as largely unsubstantiated and based on unreliable sources. The network's enthusiasm for the Russian collusion narrative led to years of coverage now proven false. Special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation found no evidence of a criminal conspiracy, while the Justice Department Inspector General's report revealed the FBI couldn't corroborate any of the dossier's substantive allegations. MSNBC's journalistic failure reached new lows when Igor Danchenko, Steele's primary source, was arrested for lying to the FBI about his information sources. This development obliterated the dossier's remaining shreds of credibility, exposing MSNBC's willingness to run with explosive political allegations without proper vetting. As the full extent of this media malpractice comes to light, serious questions arise about MSNBC's bias and the dangers of allowing political narratives to drive reporting. The Steele dossier debacle serves as a stark warning about the importance of skepticism in journalism, especially when dealing with politically charged claims that align with a network's preferred narrative. Leaked memos expose MSNBC's playbook for manufacturing fake Republican dissent. Internal documents reveal the network's deliberate strategy to create an illusion of political balance using carefully selected token conservatives. These hand-picked guests, chosen for their willingness to criticize their own party, serve as nothing more than props in MSNBC's political theater. Former contributors have come forward, describing a calculated system where producers actively seek out Republicans who will toe the network's line. We were told to find reasonable Republicans, code for those who would agree with our host's anti-Trump narratives, admitted an anonymous ex-booker. This revelation explains the parade of never-Trump voices dominating MSNBC's airwaves, creating a false impression of widespread Republican dissent. Even more shocking, internal memos suggest these token conservatives were often prepped with talking points designed to reinforce MSNBC's narratives. One regular guest confessed, "I was naive to think I could offer a genuine conservative perspective. It was clear they only wanted me as a punching bag." This scandal underscores a broader issue in media, the danger of echo chambers masquerading as diverse discourse. By curating a specific type of Republican guest, MSNBC has effectively created a strawman version of conservatism, one that's easily dismantled by their hosts and aligns conveniently with their viewers' preconceptions. As the full extent of this deception comes to light, viewers are left questioning the authenticity of any political debate they witness on mainstream networks. The token conservative reveal isn't just about MSNBC's credibility. It's a wake-up call for all media consumers to question the carefully orchestrated performances masquerading as genuine political discourse. The mainstream media's mask has finally slipped, exposing a web of lies, manipulation, and carefully crafted narratives designed to shape public opinion. From promoting fake dossiers to manufacturing false political balance, MSNBC's credibility lies in tatters. But this is just the beginning. To stay ahead of the curve and get the real story behind the headlines, hit that subscribe button now. Don't let the propaganda machine pull the wool over your eyes. Join our community of truth seekers and stay truly informed.